Hi there, boys and girls. Today for story time, I want to introduce a different animal that we haven't talked about. For letter N, we've learned about a newt. It looks a lot like a salamander. But today, I want to talk about an animal called a narwhal. A narwhal is a whale that has a horn that grows right out the front. It's actually a tusk or a tooth that grows out the front. And today's story is called Not Quite Narwhal by Jesse Seema. Kelp was born in the ocean. Here he is. Kelp. That's his name. He knew early on that he was different from the other narwhals. His tusk wasn't as long as everyone else's. His tusk is much shorter. And he had different tastes in food. He's sticking his tongue out. He does not want to eat an octopus. And he wasn't a very good swimmer. But his friends didn't seem to mind, so Kelp decided he wouldn't either. It's okay if you're not a very good swimmer. Remember, we're each good at different things. We're all unique and special. And you'll find something that you're good at. That is, until Kelp was swept away by a strong current. Pushed him away. I wish I were a better swimmer. Kelp found himself at the surface, closer to land than he'd ever been before. High up on a cliff, he spotted a mysterious, sparkling creature. It looked so familiar. It looked like kelp. Kelp swam toward the land as fast as he could, which wasn't very fast at all. Hoping that he could catch up with a creature that looked just like him. When he finally reached the shore, Kelp felt a bit anxious. He had never left the ocean. He was nervous about walking for the first time, but the land creatures made it look so easy. But it wasn't. Oof. Look, he's trying to walk sideways like a crab. Ow! Oh dear, he's trying to jump like a frog. Eventually, he got the hang of it. Everything on land was strange and beautiful, but also kind of scary. Kelp began to think he might never find the creature that looked just like him. But as he stumbled out of the forest, land narwhals! Says actually we're unicorns. And by the looks of it, so are you. Kelp had never heard of unicorns before. They taught him all sorts of new things about his tusk. We call them horns. Wow, said Kelp. And they introduced him to unicorn delicacies. A unicorn. Look, it's rainbow colored. Some people say unicorns make rainbows. And they can run across rainbows too. And they showed Kelp how to gallop. There was no doubt that Kelp was in fact a unicorn. He was having so much fun that he didn't want to leave. But then he remembered all of his friends under the sea. Kelp missed them terribly, so he said goodbye to the unicorns, and he returned to the ocean. They're saying, "Come back soon." Kelp swam toward home as fast as he could, which wasn't very fast at all. Hoping that the narwhals would still like him now that he was a unicorn. When he finally arrived, Kelp had butterflies in his stomach. "Kelp, welcome home." Look, they have a sign for him. It says, "Welcome home." They missed him. Kelp took a deep breath and told his friends the news. "It turns out I'm not a narwhal." "Of course you aren't." "I'm a unicorn." We all knew that. His friends took the news quite well. Kelp was happy to be home. But now that he'd experienced life on land with the unicorns, he couldn't seem to forget them. See the little clouds? That means he's thinking of something. Did he want to be a land narwhal with the unicorns? Or a sea unicorn with the narwhals? Kelp couldn't decide. But then he realized that maybe, just maybe, he didn't have to choose. Look, they can all be friends together. The end. Oh, look on the last page. It says, "I'm a unicorn." Oh dear. Is he a unicorn? The end. I hope you enjoyed the story. Not Quite Narwhal. Some people pronounce it narwhal, and that's okay. This book was actually donated to our class by Nora and Riker Barr. Thanks for picking out a great story for us. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.